Friends, in last video I have shown you how to set up the Kafka Zookeepers by using Docker commands. So by set up the Zookeepers and Kafka by using Docker's command, it is very headache to know the commands each and every times when we need to run the Zookeepers and Kafka. So if in this video I will explain the Docker Compose file which needs to write only once and we can use anywhere in each times based on our requirement. So by using Docker Compose, we will write a which YAML file which will contain the Zookeeper's Kafka, Kafbat UI and Kafdrop UI as well. So let's create a Docker Compose file. I am going to Notepad Plus. Here I am creating a Docker Compose file. First here I am version defining version as a 3, saving it. I will save this in the C drive. So I'm going to C drive, creating a folder Docker Compose and creating the name as a Kafka setup.yml and saving it. I have created the Docker Compose. Where is the folder? Yeah, selecting this folder which I have created just now, saving it as a YAML.yml, saving it. Yeah, now defining the services here. I'm going to define Zookeeper first one. Let's define the image name here bitnomi slash Zookeeper. Now container name here, define the container name as a Zookeeper and here defining the ports and running this 2181 2181. I have exposes the container port 2181 and second one is the container port. Here defining the environment here defining the environment as defining the allow anonymous anonymous login colon equal to yes, and now defining the second Kafka one. Here also defining the image name bitnomi Kafka, and here defining the container name as a Kafka and defining the ports, defining port 9092. This will expose for outer world 9092. Now here defining the environment, here defining Kafka broker ID, Kafka broker ID 1 and defining Kafka Zookeeper connect colon equal to Zookeeper hyphen 2181. This Zookeeper is defining the container name. Now defining the Kafka advertise advertised listeners listeners plain text colon Kafka colon 9092, and here defining Kafka plain text colon listener plain text colon localhost 9092. Now going to define network. Here defining the networks by using this network, all the container will connect Zookeeper and Kafka networks. Here defining it is not responding. Yeah, Kafka network colon driver. Here define the driver. Here defining the bridge. Now we will use the same network in the Zookeepers. Same networks. Here defining the Kafka network. Here also defining the networks networks hyphen Kafka network. Kafka is dependent on the Zookeeper. So here we need to define depends on colon, and here mention the Zookeeper. First, it will check Zookeeper is started or not. If Zookeeper is not started, then Kafka will not start. Once Zookeeper will start, then Kafka will create a container. Let's check this one. I have already installed the Docker Compose, so I'm going to open CMD. Here you can check the Docker Compose by using docker compose -v command. You will see the Docker Compose version already installed 2.281. Now I am going to Compose folder which I have created Docker Compose. Here there is a command which needs to run. So Docker Docker Compose commands -f and we need to use the our compose file name Kafka setup and enter it. If I open the another cmd command, you can see there is no image available in my local Docker. You can check the network as well. Network alias. You will see there is no networks created. Let's let's run the Docker Docker Compose file by using Docker Compose -f and YAML file name. It will take some time for running. Once it will run, then you can check container name. There is some yeah, there is some Docker Compose -f YAML. Oh, sorry. Uh, we need to add up command for upping the Docker Compose. Now, first it will pull the images, then it will create the, then it will run the Zookeepers and Kafka as well. You can check once it will pulled. After that, by using docker ps command, you can check the running container information, and by using docker network ls command you can check the newly created network name. It will take some time first time because it is pulling the images from the docker hub registry. First time it will take time. In the second times it will not take times because the images will be available in our local docker. So wait sometimes until it is not downloaded. Zookeeper is pulled from the docker hub registry. Kafka is going on. Once it is pulled, then Zookeeper will start first one. Then Kafka will start. First one is creating the container. Container is created and Zookeeper container is creating. Network is created. You can check the by using docker network ls command. Here you can check docker compose Kafka network. This is the network name. You can check the docker images as well. Docker images command. Yeah, it is appeared in here. Docker ps command. Right now there is no container is running. Once doc zookeeper is up and Kafka is up, then you can check. Yeah, yeah. Let's check the container information. Docker ps command. Yeah, it is running. So for checking purpose, I am going to offset explorer. Here I am going to delete this one connection right now and creating the new connection for checking purpose. Here adding the new and here defining the docker compose Kafka. Here defining the cluster name information. I have opened the Kafka port 9092, checking it. It is listening. Now going to Zookeeper here. Here also going to define localhost and pinging it. Yeah, it is also giving success. Then testing it. Let's check. I think facing some issue. Let's check the log ps docker logs minus f and Kafka. It is not listening. Why? It is not connecting. I think there is some issue, so I'm stopping the Docker Compose file by using Control C command. it will stop the container. Now I am going to remove the stopped container information and will run it again. Docker rm Kafka Zookeeper. Now we can check again. There is no stopped container is available and there is no running container is available. Now going to running again the docker compose file. Here let's check. Yeah, Kafka network all is fine. Kafka. Here plain text defining Kafka localhost, that is fine. Networks Zookeeper, yeah, fine. Now going to running again the docker compose. It will not take most of time. Yeah, Zookeeper is started. Kafka, now Kafka is going to start. Kafka is started now. Let's check again. It is facing some issue. So here let's run the Kafbat UI. So going to C drive, Kafdrop UI folder, going to open CMD, running the jar, Java jar name, and defining the Kafka broker dot connect, defining the port localhost 9092 hyphen hyphen server dot port equal to 9000. Entering it, let's check by using Kafdrop. If it is not connected to the Kafka, then we will, yeah, wait sometimes until it is not started. Now it's started. Let's check HTTP localhost 9000. It is not connecting the Kafka. There is some issue. Kafka 9092. Why it is not connecting? Let's check the Docker network, inspect network and network name. Network. First, let's check the network information. Yeah, now inspecting the network. Inspect network. Here defining the network name. Yeah, it is connected the Kafka and Zookeepers as well. So why it is not going to connect Kafka? Error connecting to node. It is not going to connect the nodes. Let's going to change the plain text advertise listener to local host here. Then let's check again, stopping it by using Control C commands. Now running again. Now going to run the again Kafdrop UI for checking purpose. Now it is started. Let's check again. Yeah, now it is running. By using Offset Explorer, we can also check. I have changed the here Kafka to localhost. La Last time I was trying to connect by using container name and port number, but I am unable to connect the Kafka. Yeah, now going to check here by creating the new connection. Docker Kafka and defining the bootstrap information 9092, pinging it. Now here enabling it, defining the local host and pinging it. It is giving success response and clicking the text. Yeah, now I am able to connect the Kafka. So so it is very complicated to run the Kafdrop UI for checking purpose by using CMD commands. So let's create the Docker Compose file for the Kafdrop as well. So I'm closing the Docker Kafdrop UI and same as Docker Compose file. I'm going to stop it. Now closing it. I also closing the Offset Explorer. Going to create here another command defining the name as kf drop kf drop and defining the image name. Going to Docker Hub registry. Here defining the kf drop yeah, selecting first one, opening it and copying this image's name and defining the image and defining the container name as well. So defining the container name type drop, defining port information, defining port information 9000. We can change the external world port to here 9090 and going to providing the environment information. Environment information going to define Kafka broker connect. Kafka broker connect defining localhost 9092 and it is dependent on Kafka. So here defining dependence on Kafka and also defining the network information. It will also connect the same network. So here defining the Kafka network name. Let's again rerun it. Going to cmd, going to docker compose folder, cd docker compose, and if you check only two images available. After running the docker compose file, it will pull the Kaf, Kaf, Kafdrop UI images from the Docker Hub registry, and it will create the container for the same. So I'm going to check the stopped container information and removing it. So for removing the stopped container, we are using the commands docker rm and stopped container name. So defining the stopped container name Kafka and Zookeeper, it will remove. You can check docker ps -a and docker ps by using docker ps. You can check the running container information. There is no running container right now and only two images available in here. Now let's run the docker compose file and up. Line number 26, let's check line number 26. What happened in line number 26? Okay, for drop. Yeah, everything is fine. Then why line number 26 images type drop UI expected key? Okay, so here going to give the spaces. Now going to run it again. Didn't find expected key. Images 26 cap drop UI. Here entering it. Now running again. Let's check line number 27. What happening in here? It is fine. Then cap drop UI. Then what happening in here? Saving it again and running it. Didn't find expected key. Okay, then change it as a change the drop UI. Changing it cap but UI. Let's check again. Why it is not running? Cause setup everything is fine. UI defining as a UI and again checking it. It is not taking. Cap but UI column. Defining image name, container name, Going to run again it 26. So I'm going to stop it. Obligation, that is fine. So I'm going to change it as a Kafdrop. Going to run it again. 26. Didn't find expected key. I have provided the every information, then why? UI, UI, Kafbat here defining Kafdrop, sorry, Kafdrop, and here defining the same Kafdrop, here defining the same as well, and going to run it again. Let's check YAML checker validator online. So here I'm going to validate the YAML. Here validating the YAML network. Okay, here going to define now validating it again. Yeah, now it is valid. Copying it and pasting this one in the now going to run again by using docker compose command. Yeah, that is the indentation issue. So you can check the indentation issue by using online editors. Now it will pull the images from the Docker Hub registry, Kafbat UI, Kafdrop UI, sorry. Then I will also added the Kafbat UI images information in the Docker Compose file and will run it again. First, I am going to check Kafdrop UI by using Docker Compose. Wait sometimes until the Kafdrop UI image is not pulled. I will provide the doc, Docker Compose running commands in the description. You can check in the description. And I will also provide the Docker Compose YAML file GitHub link. You can download the Docker Compose YAML file by using Docker by using GitHub repository. Wait sometimes until it will not create the container. Zookeeper container is created. Now creating the Kafdrop UI. It is also created. Yeah. Now Zookeeper is up. Kafka is going to up. Then it will run the Kafdrop UI. Yeah, it is not connected the Kafka drop. So I'm going to stop it and defining the local host to Kafka colon by using container name and its port. Let's run it again and checking it. Now Kafdrop UI is also up. You can check the port number in here which is highlighted. So I'm going to open another CMD command. Here you can check the running container information by using docker-ps command. So here you have checked Kafdrop is just up and it is expose the port 90990. So I'm going to Chrome browser and opening it by using localhost 90809090 and checking it. Oh, the port number 9090. Okay, that is fine. It is not going to connect here again. You can check. So I'm going to stop it again. I'm going to defining the Kafka. Here we have already defined a broker connect. Now I'm going to run again. It is not started. Why Kafka is going to shut down? Stopping it and first removing the stopped container. So by using docker rm Kafka and defining the zookeeper and kaf and defining the drop information, removing it and running it again. Docker compose. First time you will face some issue in the setup, but in second time you can check it will run smoothly. Let's check the running container information docker ps. Yeah, Kafka drop is also up. Let's check UI. Yeah, you can check it is connected. So just you need to up the docker compose and you just Open the Kafdrop UI. No need to run the commands each and every times. As last time we had shown you to first run the Zookeepers and Kafka, then you need to run the Kafdrop, Kafdrop UI jars, and I need to know the commands information. But by using Docker Compose, no need to know the commands information. Just, just use the Docker Compose run commands, and it will run it. I have written the Zookeeper, Kafka running information and Kafdrop information. Now let's run the UI Kafbat. Here we are going to define image, and going to here checking the Kafbat UI. So let's Kafbat UI. Here you can check the information. Let's going to UI cluster configuration wizard. Here I am going to use this images information. So removing it, just copying the image name, copying it and pasting here, defining the container name as a UI kafbat, and here defining the ports as a ports is 8080 colon 8080, and defining the environment information. Here going to add the environment information. So defining first one is a Kafka cluster name information. Here information is Kafka, and here going to define the cluster name information, bootstrap cluster information. So here defining Kafka 9092, and it is dependence on Kafka. So here defining Kafka, and here also defining the network information, Kafka network. Now going to run it again. It will pull the images from the server. Let's first check the indentation by using online editor. So here going to paste it. Now checking it, networks again. It is missed. So going to validate it again. Yeah, now it is valid YAML. Going to copying it and pasting it here. Stopping it. Going to close it. You can set it is running 8080 port, and I have exposes the same. Stopping it and removing the stopped container. After that, I will remove the stopped container here by using docker ps -a to check the stopped container and removing the container. We need to use the command docker rmi and container name. So defining the container name Kafka Zookeeper, and last one is a UI Kafdrop, entering it. Now again going to check the running container. There is no running container. Now going to check images. Now there are three images available right now. So I'm going to run the docker compose -f and file name up, entering it. It will pull the images from the Docker Hub registry, and it will run. It will take some time for pulling the images from the Docker Hub registry to the Docker Hub registry to local. Once it is available in the Docker local, then it will run. Yeah, first it will create the Zookeeper. After that, it will create the Kafka container. Then then it will create the Kafdrop and Kafbat UI. So in the Docker Compose file, I have changed the localhost to Kafka here. By using Kafka, I have connected the Kafka container Kafka by using container name and its port. Now you can check it is running right now. It will take some times. Let's open another CMD commands in here. Let's check the running container name. So Kafbat and Kafdrop both are running. So going to UI, wait, it is not started right now. So going to UI here, typing the HTTP localhost 9090. It will open the Kafdrop UI and opening the Kafbat UI. Localhost 8080. Yeah, it is also running. So by using Docker Compose, I have shown you how to run the Zookeeper, Kafka, Kafbat UI and Kafdrop UI as well. No needs to run the each 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 one by using CMD. So here is the Docker Compose file. I will provide this Docker Compose URL of the GitHub link in the description box. Thank you for watching my video. If you like my video, you can subscribe my channel. So you will get the next updated session. Thank you guys.